Little Orpheus has just released on Apple Arcade in June 2020. It is brought to you by The Chinese Room, a Sumo digital studio. Little Orpheus is a massive departure from the studio's prior catalogue of games, from So Let Us Melt, Dear Esther, Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Today, I'm going to present my initial thoughts on this platform adventure and showcase how it performs across my Apple devices. Despite the name, Little Orpheus is far from little. You'll be happy to know the game is split into 8 episodes that last for a good amount of time. The Chinese Room have brought in professional voice actors that sell the story. Overall movement is really smooth here, which I welcome with wide arms, because many platformers on the App Store play like a stiff sloth, and an outstanding and unique visual style really takes your breath away. In fact, it's one of the most story-rich and engaging games I've played on Apple Arcade or just the App Store in general so far in 2020. Each episode offers a different location and, in many instances, graphical style, from a lush, saturated forest to an ancient lost city to the inside of a ginormous whale. I'm not kidding, you get swallowed by a whale here. I will admit that while the game does look fantastic for the most part, there were times when certain textures and objects were low res, I guess you would say that, but it wasn't very noticeable, especially in dimly lit areas. The story of Little Orpheus is the standout here though. If you've played story-rich games from the likes of Inside, Limbo, Abzu, I guess Firewatch, and so forth, Little Orpheus is definitely on the same line. In fact, the Chinese Room were inspired from not just a range of video games, but also Hollywood classics came into the mix, from the 1975 film The Land That Time Forgot, and even mid-century sci-fi writers were an inspiration to them. At the start of the game, you'll be able to go to the fabled land of Platonia, a prehistoric world hidden underneath an extinct volcano in Siberia. Players follow Ivan, a Soviet cosmonaut who descends into Earth's crust with a rocket drill and Little Orpheus, to discover what secrets lay beneath in Platonia. Soon he comes to realize he is not alone here, with all types of dinosaurs and creatures set out to catch him as their next meal. I just love how the game switches back and forth between 3 years in the past, when Ivan is going through this strange world, to present time, where Ivan is trying to convince a high-ranking Soviet general of his major discoveries. You'll often hear the two characters babbling on, and it really adds to the immersion, helps you understand what's going on in each episode, and it can be quite humorous at times.
The horrendous beast had returned and was hungrier than ever.
Perhaps it was angry it had been fooled by an egg-wearing idiot.
That is unkind, General. It may have been small of brain, but it was grand of stature.
Whereas you, Ivan Ivanovich, are lacking in both departments.
I especially love the work put into the cinematics, motion graphics, UI, and so forth. They set the tone of the game really well and do a good job of depicting the characters and era 1962. But how does the game perform across my Apple devices? Well, the Chinese Room have informed me that Little Orpheus is capped to 30 frames per second on all Apple devices. Some of you might be disappointed that it doesn't support 60 FPS, but really 30 FPS is fine for a platformer such as this one, in my opinion anyway. I will say I did notice minor frame rate drops across all my devices, but it wasn't too noticeable or distracting. While performance isn't bad per se across my devices, I would like the Chinese Room to optimize the game to receive a steadier frame rate in the future. Have you or are you going to play Little Orpheus on your Apple device? Do you think it's one of the best Apple Arcade games of 2020 so far? What do you think of the controls? What do you just think of the game overall? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe and turn on notifications to be alerted about future uploads. Anyway, thanks for watching.